You bought a $440,000 house while living on 100% commission. Now the house is pulling cash out of you faster than you can replace it. That purchase may have felt like a win in August. Right now, it feels more like a bet on future income that has stopped showing up on schedule. You closed, had maybe 6 decent weeks to feel proud of yourself, and then the repairs started. $11,000 gone before the place even had time to feel normal. Now there is a plumbing issue hiding somewhere behind the walls, and every random water sound feels like a bill walking toward you. That stress is not proof that you are bad with money. It is what happens when you make a fixed housing decision based on last year's income. Then this year's income decides to act like a different person. My name is Rowan. I spend a lot of time thinking about money, housing math, and the weird gap between what people earn on paper and what they can actually survive on month to month. If you have ever watched your savings shrink and wondered how you went from "I've got this" to "I might not make it through the next quarter," subscribe. Hit the like button too if this helps you breathe for a second. Before talking about the next move, sit with what this feels like. You hear a drip behind a wall, and your first thought is not, "That's annoying." Your first thought is, "That might be $3,000 I do not have." The toilet gurgles, and your chest tightens, because now you are deciding whether to call a plumber, try to fix it from a YouTube video, or pretend you did not hear it for one more week. You pull into your own driveway after work and feel dread instead of relief because the house has stopped feeling like shelter. It feels like the thing most likely to wreck you. It is checking your bank balance before buying groceries. It is doing math in the shower, trying to figure out whether the plumbing can wait another month without turning into subfloor damage. It is lying awake at 2 a.m., imagining another week commission check, then choosing between the mortgage and the repair that keeps getting worse. It is being one bad month away from touching a retirement account you swore you would never touch. The strange part is, you are not broke in the simple sense. You are cash poor while sitting on a real asset, a strong income history, and a skill set companies still pay for. The problem is the commission volatility trap. On a 12-month average, commission income can look beautiful. Lenders use that average. You use that average. Everybody gets comfortable with the average. Then the industry slows down for 6 months, and suddenly you are not living on the average. You are living on whatever hit your bank account this month. The old number becomes a ghost, and you are still writing checks against it. Your mortgage company does not care that your pipeline dried up in third quarter. They want the payment on the first. Run the numbers without flinching. The house cost $440,000. If you put down somewhere between 5% and 10%, your mortgage payment with taxes and insurance is probably around $2,700 to $2,900 a month. Then comes maintenance. The usual rule of thumb is 1% of the home's value per year. On a $440,000 house, that is $4,400 a year, or about $367 a month. But your first year already blew past that. You have spent $11,000 on surprise repairs in under 12 months, and the plumbing problem could add another $2,000 to $5,000. So your real first-year maintenance bill is not $4,400. It is probably $13,000 to $16,000. Add that to the mortgage, and your housing burn is roughly $3,800 to $4,200 a month. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau guideline says total housing costs should stay at or below 28% of gross monthly income. If your housing burn is $4,000 a month, you need about $14,286 in gross monthly income, or roughly $171,000 a year. Not in your best year, every year. Right now, your income has fallen below the expense line. In real life, that looks like someone who earned $169,000 last year and now can barely cover the month on reduced commission. It looks like a $20,000 savings cushion melting down, while a $32,000 Roth IRA sits behind glass with a little sign that says, "Break only if everything goes wrong." That Roth has become the last wall before financial freefall. Every new contractor, quote, takes another brick out of it. You have 3 structural moves. None of them require panic selling the house. None of them require draining the Roth. Move 1. Build an income floor. You have survived in pure commission sales long enough to make 6 figures. That means you can sell. You have proof. A lot of B2B sales rolls in SaaS, medical devices, industrial equipment, and financial services offer a base salary somewhere between $60,000 and $90,000 with commission on top. The Bureau of Labor Statistics puts median pay for sales representatives in wholesale and technical fields around $65,000 before commission. That base is not glamorous, but it is oxygen. It means the mortgage gets covered even in a month where you close nothing. Tonight, open LinkedIn. Update your headline so recruiters can see you are open to roles. Message 3 recruiters who place salespeople in your industry. Use this. I'm exploring roles with a base plus commission structure. I have a consistent track record above $150,000 in total comp. I'd love to connect. You do not need to quit tomorrow. You need to start the conversation this week. Move 2. Make the house produce cash. A $440,000 house probably has at least 3 bedrooms. If one room can be separated from your main living space and has reasonable bathroom access, it may be worth $800 to $1,200 a month, depending on your market. List it on Furnished Finder or a local housing group. The best fit is not a chaotic long-term roommate you found out of desperation. Think traveling nurse on a 13-week contract, grad student on rotation, or a young professional relocating for a new job who needs 3 to 6 months of quiet, clean housing with Wi-Fi and no drama. That rental check can cover the maintenance budget that is currently eating your sleep. Walk through the house tonight. Look at the floor plan like a landlord, not like a stressed owner. Which room has the most privacy? Which bathroom could work? Where would a renter come and go? That room may look like extra space, but right now it is a pressure valve. Move 3. Triage the repairs. Not every ugly thing in a house is an emergency. Water is different. Water damage spreads, hides, and gets more expensive while you wait. A creaky stair can sit. Ugly grout can sit. A cabinet door that does not close right can annoy you for 18 months and nothing terrible happens. Plumbing gets priority. Call 3 plumbers this week. Get 3 quotes. Ask each one the same question. What is the minimum fix that stops the damage from spreading, and what would the full replacement cost? Those are 2 different numbers. Sometimes a $600 patch with a clean-out access point buys you a year and a half while your income stabilizes. You do not need the house to be perfect right now. You need it to stop bleeding. You are not failing at homeownership. You are watching variable income crash into fixed obligations during a soft market. That does not need shame. It needs a wrench, a spreadsheet, and 3 phone calls you have probably been avoiding. You can admit this is hard without deciding the purchase ruined your life. You can rent out a bedroom without losing ownership of your home. You can look for a base salary without giving up on big commission checks. There is no prize for white-knuckling a financial crisis alone while pretending the math will fix itself. When you are not waking up at 2 a.m. wondering how long until you raid the Roth, you sell better. You follow up faster. You negotiate without sounding desperate. A stable income floor and a rental check do not make you rich overnight. They give your nervous system room to work again. That is how you get back to the person who earned $169,000 in the first place. Owning a house on pure commission income is like juggling knives on a surfboard. It can work. It can even look impressive. Then one bad wave comes in, and suddenly the whole thing is blood and panic. Your job now is not to keep arguing with the past. Your job is to put a floor under the life you already signed for. Stabilize the income. Rent the room. Triage the repairs. Do those in the next 30 days, and the story starts changing. People usually do not lose the house because they felt fear. They lose it because fear kept them frozen while the numbers kept moving. You are not frozen anymore. You asked the question. Now act before the next repair gets to vote. If this hit close to home, leave a comment with the expense that keeps you up at night. Not the dramatic one, the small, embarrassing one you hate admitting out loud. Those are usually the bills running the whole show.